We went to.
Can we go through everything in early executive session?
In Brentford.
We still have to.
Crazy interesting. Yeah, crazy. Nothing.
But we're gonna do it in order.
Boring as hell on
Back to the
television.
business.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I know sometimes.
Yeah, I think you're okay either way.
There's not gonna be any action taken.
Until something happens.
Oh, back.
Thank you. How are you? Okay. Good morning.
I'm going to tell the executive session. We're gonna have a work session between now and the next board meeting to get, to discuss immigration issue. We're gonna iron it out in a work session.
Morning, Judge.
And we're gonna go to the next meeting.
And I can put it as old business, I guess.
Correct.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yes.
I have expressed my.
Yeah. That I heard. Yeah.
Good morning.
How are we all, sir? I'm not supposed to be on.
Hey, he's got a blue shirt on.
No, I wore this just for you.
He has a law sock, he's fine converted.
I wore this just for you. It's just to show my
Look, Mr. Bassett.
This is not new. This is perfect.
Is that your first name or last name?
You can look on their website.
Is that your first name or last name? Is it Bassett or Bassett, or is it just Bassett? Doesn't change anything. I put you in jail regardless. Is it okay? I'll do this with that?
Yeah, that's.
And he over.
Are we live yet?
Yes.
Oh, okay then. I won't say anything stupid. 3 minutes.
What's your question?
All right, I have two.
What do you mean? We have a quorum.
We do.
I mean, they're supposed to all be here.
We don't have a quorum, do we?
Yes, there's a quorum. Commissioner Metzger is
Oh,
supposed to be here
there's
shortly.
5 if we need her. There she sits.
Oh, right, there's 5.
Me?
We always need you.
I know.
Well, 4 is a quorum.
Good morning, Matt. Okay.
No,
Nikki, who's with you?
This is Jen Brown. She's new.
Hi, Jen. From your office?
Yes.
Okay.
She's my right-hand woman right now.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah, I guess. Good thing, good person to have right now. Matt, did Commissioner Sortman say he's not gonna be here today?
I told him he could call in.
Oh, okay, because I just went on the line and there was nobody
But he
there.
didn't say,
Back, you should have back there.
Is that where you got?
Yeah, that's where the copies are. Mr. Ward, do you have extra agenda?
I do.
Right here, Commissioner.
Yeah. Because we keep talking about efficiency.
I don't know how long it would last.
No.
But
I think we should consider. What, do you want me to move? Is Mark coming? Do you want me to move? No, it's not coming. Oh, okay.
0098, right? 0098?
yeah, is that, is he going to?
I don't know. Just giving him everything.
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Sorman,
Matt is getting in touch with him right now to see if he's going to join by phone.
Okay, we'll get started. Try to make contact with Commissioner Sorber, see if he'll join us by phone. I'll convene the Lycoming County Prison Board, and we'll do roll call. Judge Butts?
Here.
Commissioner Metzger? Here. Commissioner Sortman? Commissioner Messina?
Here.
Commissioner Rogers, AKA, is she here?
No,
Deputy,
I'm here.
our Deputy Commissioner is here.
Controller, but.
I'm
I
sorry.
could be controller.
You can make a Deputy Commissioner if you want to. Dean Marino? And Sheriff Loss. Okay, I'll ask for approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. If anybody's not received those minutes, please let us know.
I'll make
Do
a
I
motion.
have a motion?
A second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Okay, well, public comment on agenda items only. Anyone wishing to comment from the public who's here, please come up to the podium. Any public comment online? Nothing online? Personnel, expenditure report 2.1. We'll take the vote to approve the expenditures for the prison and the PRC board. Make a motion to approve the expenditure report for this month.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Anyone will take a second?
I'll second.
Second by Nikki and Commissioner Messina. Okay. Are there any questions for the expenditure report from anybody? No questions? Motion to approve? I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, board and personnel actions.
Thank you, Sheriff. We have 4 personnel actions. The first 2 are at the pre-release center. They are Charles Moorhart as a full-time resident supervisor and Sarah Verastro also as a full-time resident supervisor. At the prison, Michael Minier is a full-time sergeant and George Sicily as a full-time sergeant.
Are there any questions on the personnel actions? Motion?
I'll make a motion.
By Nikki. Second?
Second.
Second, Judge Butts. Any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Informational report, Warden.
The population report indicates that the prison carried an average of 153.5 males And at the pre-release center, 37.57 males for a total average daily population of 191.07. There was a peak population for males in the month of 199. For females, the prison carried an average of 27.37, and at the pre-release, there were 7.57 females for an average daily population of 34.93, and a peak population in the month of 43. The average daily population in both facilities was 226, with a peak population of 237. In-home detention carried an average of 0.3 males and 0.13 females for the month, and there were no overcrowding transfers. So our total population is the same as the prison and pre-release. Total average daily population of 226, slightly higher than the average of what we've seen for the first 3 months of the year. Next report is the prison disciplinary report. And in the month of April, the Prison Disciplinary Committee, chaired by Deputy Warden Barnes, conducted 40 hearings. Of those 40 hearings, 33 resulted in guilty with lockup time imposed. 5 resulted in guilty findings with lockup time suspended, and 2 resulted in not guilty findings. Those hearings were held on 30 separate inmates. 6 of them had greater than 1 incident report, and there were 17 reports generated by the staff for informational purposes. Ryan, is there anything else that you wish to add?
Nope.
The report that follows that is the pre-release center report. And in the month of April, there were an average of 12 males on work release and 25 males on work crew. There was an average of 8 females also on work crew. So the total was 37 and 8, and the year-to-date average is 38 and 8. The bail release report follows that, and in the month of April, the bail release staff, or the bail release team, had an average of 101.2 clients per day, broken down into 28.97 on supervised bail, 72.10 on intensive supervised bail, and 0.13 on supervised release. Those clients saved 3,036 bed days at the prison. The mental health snapshot is the next report, and the snapshot was taken on May 7th. On that day, there was a total of 259 inmates within the prison system, 224 males and 35 females. Of that population, 111 inmates were found to be under roster A with no mental health history. That was 42.86% of the population. 68 inmates were found to be under roster B with history but no active symptoms in the last year. That was 26.25% of the population. 72 inmates were found to be under roster C with current mental health issues, or 27.8% of the population. And 8 inmates were under roster D experiencing serious mental illness. That was 3.09% of the population. The inmates on psychotropic medications at the pre-release center, there were 9 males and on work crew and 1 male on work release, for a total of 10 of the 39 total inmates. That was 25.9% of the population. 3 of the 6 female inmates were on psychotropic meds, or 50% of the population. And then at the prison, of the 164 males on this day, 37 were receiving meds, or 22.56%. For the females, there were 26 females, 19 were receiving meds, or 73.08%. The total percentage of inmates receiving psych meds in the pre-release center was 28.89. At the prison, it was 29.47, and the total within the prison system was 29.36. That would be, that's it.
Reentry program, Tyler? Come on down. Good morning.
Morning. Yep, so the program population statistics, there was 0 sentenced, 96 on APO, 0 during pretrial. There was a total program population as of May 2nd of 96, 67 of which were male clients, and then 29 of which were female clients. There were 20 Phase 2 clients, and then 33 Phase 3 clients. And then the total process intakes to date were 1,945. As far as the GPS alcohol monitoring services, there was 33 active clients receiving monitoring services, 9 of which were alcohol monitors or TADs, 6 GPS monitors, and 5 SL3 breathalyzers. The total amount of client intakes into the GPS alcohol monitoring services are 2,073. And then the juvenile overview of services, there are 10 active cases on GPS services through GEO monitors as of May 1st. Now the reentry statistics, as of April 30th, there was 47 active participants, 0 pending intakes. And since January, there have been 55 intakes that were completed, 1 whereas, 51 transitional action plans or TAPs, and 100 sessions completed. The total participants in the in-prison program who were released from incarceration were 40. 6 had referrals or appointments made by the reentry coordinator, 45 resources that were given. And then there was a total of 57 referrals made to the reentry program, 55 which came from the prison and 2 which came from the release center. Of the total referrals, there was 5 that refused to participate, 6 that were released from incarceration prior to being seen, and 0 people who were referred but did not meet the criteria of the program. There was a total of 12 referrals to the in-prison reentry program for the month of April. Those broken down from January through December. There's been a total of 5 probation violation, 4 max outs, 27 new cases, 11 domestics, 10 contempt, and then 0 pretrial and treatment court. And then the reentry services statistics, there's an average population per day of 86, 37 total intakes, 14 total discharges, 3 successful completions, and there are 43 EM total participants, 33 of which are adult and 10 of which are juvenile, which I think is 9 from the meeting from yesterday. But
Do any board members have any questions for Tyler? Judge?
Tyler, do you also want to mention that Nicole mentioned that there's probably going to be a graduation in August?
yeah, so we are working on dates for the graduation for the reentry program that we are hoping to be held at Lycoming College again. We're aiming for the 1st or 2nd week in August, and it's probably going to be on a Friday because that's what seems to be best for everybody. So we are actively working on that. Our electronic monitoring case manager is just sent an email to Lycoming College, and we're just waiting on a response back now. So.
Okay, any other questions for Tyler? Thank you. That's
Thank
your
you.
board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Additional informational highlights on April 3rd. Deputy Warden Ebner participated and was an observer and I believe a chaperone at the Crisis Intervention Team training. And I believe you're still on the board of that as well, correct?
Yes, steering committee.
So also on April 7th through the 10th, Deputy Warden Barnes, Deputy Warden Ebner, and I attended the Pennsylvania County Corrections Association Spring Conference. That was held in York. On April 12th, Prison and PRC Administration met with Cost Management Plus Representative Julia Alday. The Prison Inmate Medical Cost Containment, or PIMIC program, reported that there was a healthcare savings for the period of October 2023 to March of 2024, with a total of $712,517.18 for outpatient services and $97,744.13 for inpatient services. On April 19th and April 24th, Prison Administration provided tours of the jail for the new HR business partner, Gina Champion, and the new senior HR business partner, Michael Hagan. On April 25th, members of the prison staff participated in CPR, AED, and first aid training. That was conducted by Training Sergeant Joe DeFrancisco. Also on April 25th, Deputy Warden Ebner and I met with members of the Lycoming County Clinton Joinder Administration and Dr. Charlene Gondon, who is our telepsychiatrist. And that was just our annual review or biannual review of the prison's telepsychiatry program. On April 26th, Deputy Warden Barnes, HR business partner Gina Champion, and I attended a job fair in Snyder County, and that was sponsored by the Snyder County Jail. And those are all the informational highlights I have.
Okay, thank you. 5.0, old business.
I have a question for District Attorney Marino. The court filings, are they up for the year? Are they down? What's the outlook?
I think there's a slight tick down on it. We do have quite a few that are violent crimes that have been committed.
I've expressed, and this is no reflection, we were out last night or yesterday afternoon at PRC as we celebrate Corrections Week. And they do a great job out there. Their staff does a phenomenal job at the prison at PRC, and it's no reflection on them nor the courts. But we have a facility, PRC facility, for the last 6 or 7 years that holds 105 people. And it's not been near that in capacity. When I was still over probation, it was probably about 70%. For the last 3 years, it's been approximately 35% being utilized. We ran into COVID. I understand during COVID we couldn't house as many people. This is an option for the courts to utilize. We're not telling the courts how to sentence people, but we can't justify to the taxpayers a building that's being used 35 to 40% that costs $2 million. Snyder County just closed their county prison because they had 39 inmates. And and that'll cost the taxpayers $5 million. We have a facility right now that's costing the taxpayers $2 million. That's been
$2 million
used a year.
Okay.
That's housing approximately 35 to 40 inmates a year, or per month a year. And to figure out a better way to utilize that building, either through PRC, turn it into a mental health facility, turn it into a juvenile facility, whatever it is, we have to justify a better use of what we're utilizing it for $2 million of taxpayers' money. So I've asked the courts this. They've given me several reasons, from electronic monitoring being utilized more, so that people aren't going to PRC and plea agreements. Whatever reason, we have to figure out a better way to utilize those monies. We can't continue each year to utilize a facility 35 to 40% and spend $2 million. It's not fair to the taxpayers, nor is it right. Yes.
Yeah, we are. Judge Butts and I had a conversation some time ago, and I think you should notice by the numbers today that more people are going into pre-release. We are going to continue that. I had a meeting with my assistants and made it very clear if someone is suitable for pre-release, then that's the route we go. And I think you're going to see you're going to see those numbers increase. We're getting through a lot of sentencings and guilty pleas, so and we're running 3 courtrooms here to have trials, which is helping to keep the caseload down, and as a matter of fact, it is down, but you're still going to see more people at pre-release if they qualify.
If they qualify, I understand
And
that.
one other thing I'd like to throw out, he brought up a situation about the building being utilized. I think, of course, we're working on having a juvenile rehabilitation center put together. We're still working on the funding from the state and feds. It looks promising, but something we need in addition to a juvenile rehabilitation center is we need a mental health facility. We need experts in that area to deal with the overwhelming number of mentally ill people that we are seeing, and that we cannot put a mentally ill person in prison that's not going to do anything. But if we do have a facility, we seem to have a building out there, it's going to cost a little money to hire experts, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, but I don't see any other way to handle this issue.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments regarding that or Any other?
Yeah, I had a backtrack here. When,
Yes, sir.
the warden, when you went to the job fair at Schneider County, was that for, guards and stuff who were losing their job because of the closing? When is the closing?
I don't know when the closing is, but it was specifically just
Trying to
catered
replace those people.
to the Snyder County correctional staff. Yes. It was not an open job fair, it was just for
Well, I
them,
figured-
organized by the Snyder.
It seemed like an odd place to have a job fair, but.
Yes,
Do you understand that the prison is closing?
yes. They are closing their county jail, and they are going to utilize their county jail, to my understanding, as a booking center. And then they will move their inmates to Clinton County, and they have a contract with Clinton County to house, I believe it's 40 inmates, up to 40 inmates per month for a flat fee.
I had spoke to the Snyder County Commissioner, and he said we cannot justify spending $5 million for 39 inmates.
That's what the population typically is, 40.
Yeah.
Okay, Commissioner, Missy, anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay, with that,
Sure.
oh, I'm
Just-
sorry. Yes,
There was a
Judge.
question about filings. In 2023, there were 1,681 criminal filings. In 2022, there was 1,661. As of May 15th, there were 624 filings. So we're on track to run about the same total for 2024.
So there's no at all considerable reduction. We're right where we typically have been.
Or even dramatic
Even
increase.
probably higher, if you annualize that number probably. Is that through, that's through when, Judge? April?
Let me just go back to this. As of May 6th, in 2023, case number 624 was filed on May 15th, and in 2022, case number 624 was filed on. So we're running just about on track.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments on that, Commissioner? Okay, with that, we'll go into executive session. I'm sorry.
T.A. Marino.
Yes, sir.
We are well on our way to putting together a central processing facility. We have a couple of options. We'll probably be making a decision here in the next several weeks. That's going to be a benefit to us as well. One of the things that we're going to see increase significantly is fingerprints. We have quite a few people out there, we don't have the fingerprints, but with the processing center, we're going to be able to clear that up rather quickly.
And that's important because if individuals don't get fingerprinted, those charges don't get on their III.
That's been something that's been needed for 2 decades.
We're close to this. We've gone to a couple of locations, and I think we're zeroing in on where this facility has to be.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we'll adjourn and go into executive session. I know they wanted something about our disciplinary, records, I just don't know how to, mark that. So that's what we're trying to figure out, is how does that get, how do those records get shared? So they're private entity, that's the problem. So, but that's a different component. And I don't know what is needed to validate. Is it as simple as, especially when if you're doing that, is it as simple as, has the guy ever had any incarceration or no? And it could be yes or no. Without turning over the document.
Yeah, and I know Mr. English said that some of the people that I had were already gonna have an ORS assessment completed.
Right, especially the PEDs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right,
So-
but I think there's some that if they're detained for an X amount of period, they need to have another.
Yeah.
And APO wanted you to do that, because, they're reentry. What's that? No, I don't. That I
I
don't.
said 330 Pine Street, I'm not sure if it's here or it's over here in our Ranger building. Chad, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can double check if Sarah's over there now. I'll ask her about the 90-day thing.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
and then you think, so yeah, I mean, new ones make
Mhm.
sense if they've never had one,
Yeah.
right? Do it
Yeah.
within 30 days, that makes sense, and that's kind of what you were doing with the old one before the ORS.
Yeah.
But there's a component there with APO, so I think, so once you get trained, once all that is compiled, what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Send me an email so I can get it out, so everybody knows what that looks like.
Yeah.
And that way,
Yep.
you keep everybody on the same page.
Gotcha.
So you've gotten all the referrals,
Mhm.
and you looked at your status to make sure that cross-check out.
Yep.
So none of that's working fine.
Yep, yep. Everything's going good.
Okay.
So, yep.
All right. Yeah, I think that was, just wanted to touch base there with you.
So that'll start Monday, and then, I'll touch base with Sarah when I get back, if she's in the office.
Yeah.
About the 90-day.
You're right, 'cause like I said, I don't know exactly what
Yeah.
that looks like, I really don't.
Yeah.
Well, I know the APO contacted me about it. If they're in 90 days, they'd be in reentry anyway.
Yeah.
I guess the only ones that won't be is if it's a 90-day detaining reassess for a treatment court. So
Yeah.
you'll have to get that.
Yeah.
You know how they have the rules on that, so I don't.
Yep.
So if you have any questions, feel free to email me.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at it, but yeah, once that's started, then I can get it out to all the
Yeah.
counselors, and
Start
stuff,
there.
all the people that need to
Yeah,
see it.
exactly.
So they
Yeah.
know what's going on and what that looks like. And, if we get to a time that we wanna delineate, I don't know what your prison caseload looks like. But, I can give you a couple afternoon slots in an office there. But we have to work it out, I have to
Yep.
communicate it. I mean, you can still come over at any time.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, some of the best time is, 8:30 in the morning before attorneys and everybody
Yeah.
else. You can get a room and a list
Exactly.
and go down. That always works well. And you don't have to schedule ahead. I mean, they should know you by now. You get there. But
Yeah.
if it comes to the point that you want to set 2 afternoons aside. And I guess my last question, how are we doing on the contacts as far as, you get a referral, you do your initial paperwork
so they're not pending. And then I believe you see them once a month, right? Up until 2 months.
Yeah.
And then you see them 2 times a week, and in the last month, it's weekly to.
Yeah.
And that's, you're able to get
Yeah,
up.
yeah, as far as, I will say that it's, PRC, a lot more people, so since I.
Yeah, PRC's.
Yeah.
If you're in the prison in the Senate, can't be clear. There's a disciplinary problem that got your ass sent back because there was a whole bunch of that. So yes, PRC would have the most, if there are these guys that are sentenced that end up leaving prison because, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
how many, we get people with court sentences and doesn't allow them to go. Even, you know, they're medically, they're not a fraud, you know. So those, so yes.
So-
I'm not required to, but there are stuff there, so we can even review that sometime. Yeah, you might, yeah, get out. Hi.
Okay, good. Okay, Sheriff Lussick had to leave for another meeting, so at this time, we will reconvene the prison board meeting. And,
We're at 7.
yes, I will ask for a motion to ratify the job abandonment of Eric Shields effective April 29th, 2024.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
All fair side?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Do we have any board comments at this time? Hearing none, do we have any further public comment this time? No one. Okay. At our next prison board meeting, it's scheduled for the prison, June 14th of 2024. Yes. Yeah. We'll be making a move from Second Plaza to Third Street within the next several weeks. We'll be releasing to the press here sometime in the next day or two. The different offices and the dates are going to be moving. So those moves will be taking place from the third week of May on. So by July, we will definitely be over in the Third Street Plaza.
So there will be a public notice
Yes.
for the board meetings plus the prison.
Right. And is to utilize the boardroom through June until we're fully set up to run public meetings over there.
Okay, great, thank you.
So the next agenda, this will be updated to reflect where the new meetings will be held.
Correct. Okay. If there's nothing further, we've completed our agenda, so we will be adjourned. Thank you. Have a good weekend, everybody.